Everyone, welcome back to another video. We're testing out some stuff. I'm working on making sure we got equipment and everything ready to roll. We'll be testing out some audio too while I'm at it, but we'll be reacting to some good tech content today. I don't know what my sensitivity levels are for my microphone and stuff. I tried the best I could with the studio. The final deck of $3,000 in studio equipment setup. For my microphone and stuff. I tried the best I could with the studio. The final deck of $3,000 in studio equipment is finally getting underway, and let me make sure. I'm gonna swipe across the mics just to make sure that it's using them and not my internal. Dollars in studio equipment setup. Dollars in studio equipment is final. Dollars in studio equipment is final. All right, so we're looping now. That's not good. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure this works correctly, and I'm waiting for people to tune in. The final deck of $3,000 in studio equipment is finally getting underway, and let me make sure. I'm gonna swipe across the mics just to make sure that it's using them and not my internal. Oh God, that was loud. All right, so it is using the mics. So it should stabilize and stop stuttering. If not, let me make sure they're both on the same network. Give me a sec. All right, this is connected to
FBI VIN number selected. Backyard unders.
All right, it is connected to that.
Voiceover off.
All right, and this is connected to
Voiceover on Finder.
This is a good audio test.
Menu extras. Time machine. Bluetooth 100. Bluetooth menu 1. Wi-Fi connected. 3 bar. Application. We secure head 1. Cost exact heading. Preferred net backyard. Secure network. 3 bars. Selected toggle backyard underscore 5G. Backyard underscore back 1 updated item. You are current backyard underscore 5G. Secure network. 2 bars. Selected toggle button.
All right.
Finder. Desktop.
Now on the 5 gigahertz network, we should stop. We should not be having any more stutter. Check live chat. Hey Nikita, what's up? I haven't seen you in chat in a long time. Let's see. Not be having any more stutter. Check live chat. Hey Nikita, what's up? I haven't seen you in chat in a long time. Let's see. Not be having any more. Yeah, we should not have any more stutter after this. All right, so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna be reacting to some good videos. I will leave links to the videos as quick as possible in live time if you're watching this live. If not, if you're watching this after the live stream, I'll try to add them as quick as possible. I am going to govern these temps on this Mac to make sure that this new setup keeps this Mac cooler. So yeah. Well, we have interesting tech stuff happening these days, and I'm legitimately surprised. I do cover a lot of Apple stuff, and my primary ecosystem is Apple, but I want to get this out of the way that the bias side of me is not going to come out. I don't really have a bias towards Apple because I'll be honest, Apple has done, and I made this clear in the last stream that I'm going to cut back on the filter and and show who I truly am in my live streams more than the actual videos. Apple has done, frankly, some shitty things. They have done some things that can be well judged for not the best for everyone. And Apple has been known to be pretty hypocritical at it too. So let me pull up the first video that I'm going to react to. Justin sent me an audio message. Justin, I see you sent me an audio message. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I sent you the video, so I'm going to go through our conversation to look at it. All right, here we are. So we're going to try to do this as best as possible and to keep nagging voiceover out of the way too. So let me bring up AirDrop. No, I don't want to AirDrop to the iPad. And hopefully my AirDrop on the Mac works. All right, good. We're good.
Safari web content. 87%
All right.
loaded. No, you are currently on web content. Voiceover off.
Of course, we got an ad. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to add it to the description of the video. So it is Mr. Who's the Boss. So give me
YouTube.
a sec.
Word. Speak word.
There.
Voiceover off.
Because he spells his channel out like in one word. So it's like, you know what? video here, comma. All right, so I'm just quickly adding this. And I'll do proper that. And then at the same time, I want to copy the link. All right. And there we go. We should be good to go. All right. So, like I said, we got this all worked out. I was outside working earlier today. I got bit by ants. Now I'm annoyed at them.
I call it wheel. I don't think so. What does it do? It rolls, yeah.
All right, this ad is really annoying. Give me a sec to take care of it. I thought this would be a much easier setup, but it's becoming not. All right. So, trial and error. Oh well. It is what it is. All right, here we are. So what I want to do is I'm going to go up to here. And there we go.
All right.
So hopefully none of this lags now too. Full screen. We're going to go to right at the beginning. So we're going to watch this video on Mr. Who's the Boss. He did a battery test between the Galaxy S22 Ultra, S21 Ultra, and a few other, and the 13 Pro Max, and a few other Android phones to battle it out. So I'm going to start the video here and pause periodically and give my thoughts throughout the video.
All right. Let's
Oops.
decide once and for all. In 2022,
I love how sometimes he jumps into his chair in the studio and he knocks things over. It's kind of funny.
which smartphone company gives you the best battery life? We've got 5 phones here. The brand new Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, the iPhone 13 Pro Max, the Google Pixel 6 Pro, and then Xiaomi's latest flagship, the 12 Pro. And then just next to that S22 Ultra, I've also added in last year's S21 Ultra. So
To make it as fun as possible and, you know, just to see did they improve or did they not improve. Oh, and if you're liking this video, please give me a thumbs up, and to subscribe to the channel would be magnificently powerful.
be able to see not just if Samsung's managed to beat the competition, but also how much they've improved by. And just to make sure that this test is 100% fair, every phone you're seeing here, I've bought us a brand new version of it. So everything has 100% battery health, and so is pretty representative of what you would get if you went into a shop and bought one of these now.
Okay, I want to call something out on Samsung. So my parents both have had Galaxy S9s. They have the standard S9, not the S9 Plus. And they both have somehow 100% battery health after 3 years. Somehow. Don't ask.
YouTube.
I still don't know.
Cancel.
I'm
Button.
kind of puzzled.
1356. Nikita Smith. Battle of the Batteries. Low.
Yeah, Battle of the Batteries. Right at the beginning. S21 Ultra and a few other, and the 13 Pro Max and a few other Android phones to Oops.
So, all the phones are calibrated in terms of brightness. Let's unplug the chargers and start that timer. And just so you know, in these tests, if a phone can get 5 hours of screen on time, that's solid. 6 hours is good, 7 hours is great, and if a phone can pass 8 hours, then that is power user level right there. And I just want to stress that this...
Oh, and fun fact, Nikita, the Geekbench scores, literally your phone still outbeats it in single core performance and almost in multi-core performance. They're neck and neck at multi-core performance via Geekbench 5.
It's a very important battery test, because you might know that for some time now, Samsung has been having quite a bit of trouble with their own in-house Exynos chipsets. Year after year, they just lag behind in terms of both performance and battery efficiency. But this time, the Exynos 2200 chip that's sitting inside this S22 in front of us is meant to be the savior. And if we check the battery percentages so far, well, the Pixel is winning. Would you look at that? That was...
I'm surprised. Oh, whoops. Did this thing seriously just crash on me? Give me a sec. Exit for 1 moment. It's not exiting. What the heck? Yeah, this full screen.
Phone that was pretty
There we
heavily
go.
criticized for not having great battery, so fingers crossed that result changes. And while we wait for it, I do want to mention a few things that Samsung has done with this next generation S22 Ultra, which they're saying will elevate it to another level of battery life. So for starters, because this phone is more intelligent, it can now predict, based on what you're doing with your phone, when you're not going to need your Wi-Fi and signal. And then
That's not good because the Mac does it sometimes, especially when it's on battery power and the lid is shut. Especially that's when it does it. Oh God. So I was texting back and forth with Nikita this morning, and because she's the moderator of the channel, but also we've developed a friendship between that online and stuff like that. And I went and got the Mac out to get ready to stream, and I had to wait for everything to catch back up. I mean, everything. It was really annoying.
temporarily, for short periods of time, put them to sleep without you realizing. But it's not just that. They've also used a very special this phone. You can see how sometimes these screens are flickering quite a lot, other times less so. Well, that's because each phone on this table is using LTPO tech that lets their screens refresh at the minimum refresh rate that they need to display the content you're looking at, which saves power. And while last year's Samsung, the iPhone and the Pixel can all go from 120Hz to as low as 10Hz, the S22 Ultra, as well as Xiaomi's Mi 12 Pro, use a new generation of this technology that can take them as low as 1Hz.
10 hertz is still good enough.
1358. Nikita Smith. I heard a rumor that Apple uses recycled batteries. Although this is a rumor, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, so it depends on to the battery at hand. They can, but more than likely, if the battery's being replaced, they don't. They use probably recycled parts of a battery because they can take apart the battery and then use recycled parts. There's a possibility, Nikita. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying they can't, but they also can.
Sure to include some static bits in this test, so we will get to see how much of a difference it's making. So far though, looking at the battery percentages now, it's not looking great. The iPhone is now leading the pack. That in itself doesn't surprise me. I've been using a 13 Pro Max since the day it came out. The battery is life-changing on that thing. But then, interestingly, that's being trailed by...
I could actually agree with Mr. Who's the Boss. Here's my 13 Pro Max right now. That's the 11 talking. Here's the 13 Pro Max.
1401.
It's 1401, or just turned 1402.
80% battery power.
We're at 80% right now. I unplugged this.
Speak weather. Settings.
I have a speak weather shortcut.
Notifications.
Speak us. Battery. This thing is running 15.4 right now. I did put my 13 Pro Max on the beta.
Battery level last charge to 100%. 9:30.
9:30 this morning I unplugged it. Over the last
YouTube. 1. Personal hotspot showing battery usage by app.
Over the last 24 hours I've had
Screen on 4 hours, 49 minutes. Screen off 8 hours, 5 minutes.
and a lot of that's due to hotspot and whatever networking task because I run a I connect to Cloudflare servers for DNS protection and virtual networking for IP hiding, for hiding my home internet protocol address and stuff like that. You know, that tech savvy 9 yards. But if we go to the last
Battery level varied. Battery level last charge to 1. Battery level last 10 days.
last 10 days,
Usage 11 hour. Usage 8 average. Usage 11 hours. Usage 11 hours. 15 minutes. Screen on 8 hours. 48 minutes. Screen off 2 hours. 27 minutes. February 23rd.
and that was yesterday. And yesterday I had a bad day of charging. This phone never hit 100% until late last night because my dumb self left it unplugged till 5:02 that morning, which it was at 40%. I slept with the phone unplugged, and I only lost 9% from. Oh, I was really tired that day. I was up 24 hours on Tuesday, and Tuesdays are my most busiest days too. It went from 49% at 6 p.m. to 5:02 a.m. Wednesday at 40%. So it only lost 9% in a matter of 11 hours.
Usage.
On a beta,
Battery usage.
which is not,
Battery usage.
it sounds bad, but it's not.
96% battery usage. 96% battery usage. February 23rd.
And that with 96% with 11 hours of usage. But like I said, we'll continue with this video and see what the results are on like public version. I think he had on 15.3.1.
Not the S22 Ultra, but in fact the S21 Ultra. There's still plenty of time for that to change, but it is still surprising. If we drop all the battery capacities on screen now, you can see that the S22 Ultra has the same size battery as their last phone. And so if you
which is 5,000 milliamps for the S21 Ultra and then 5,000 milliamps for the S22 Ultra. Nikita Smith writes in
1401. Nikita Smith. Oh, that is not good. But if you do something with your Mac that it is out of your routine, and you need to use the Wi-Fi during that time.
It works. It's just sometimes when the Mac goes to sleep, it likes to put the Wi-Fi stuff to sleep, and that does not end well. It does it with all laptops, but like I said, the phones don't. Phones normally don't do it, and that's why I'm like, that could be bad.
1402. Samir Salim. Hello.
Hey, Samir Salim. Haven't seen you in the chat in a while, but I haven't been streaming like this early in the day before.
1403. Samir Salim.
In a while.
I've not been in one of these since October.
Yeah, I haven't been able to stream during the day. It's been stupid crazy.
with what should be a bunch of optimizations, then it is a little fishy.
Voiceover off.
Now, it's not impossible that there might be a software update in the future which helps it out, but you've got to remember that A, the time when the most number of people are going to buy this thing is now. So you need to know how good it is now, not
instead of
after you've received it.
Yep.
B, that this is the state that Samsung has given it to reviewers for testing. So either they've got a PR team that needs a serious looking at, or it's not going to get much better than this. And that's C, the other thing. In my testing, battery life does not tend to improve with updates. The battery life...
Yeah, I've noticed that. iPhones, they improve slightly, but it's very slightly.
S21 Ultra, for example, is not better now than it was at launch last year. Anyways, as you can see, we're currently recording some 4K video on each phone right now. This is probably the most demanding thing you can do on a smartphone. You're using just about every component at the same time. So you will notice the batteries start to fall a little faster. And then straight from there, we're going to take this video clip that we've just filmed on each and load it into Adobe Premiere, a video editing program, with the plan being to make a minor adjustment to the file and then re-export a full version of it to kill the phones all over again. And if I hit that export button, you'll notice that the iPhone finishes the render way faster than any other phone, followed by last year's S21 Ultra. We are just approaching the 3-hour mark, by the way. And the primary message that I actually want to get through in this video is that I am just glad that none of these phones are flagging at this point. I remember when I used to make these tests like 4 years ago, and pretty much no phone would ever hit 6 hours. So progress is being made, which is important, because
yes,
I feel like as our phones have gotten more and more...
That is impressive, that phones are making this much progress since then. That is actually like really good. I really am glad about that phones are getting better battery life and stuff like that. I got the 11 and I'm like, okay, this is good. But then T-Mobile started putting up new towers and our new equipment on towers and stuff like that, which uses LTE CBRS. And then I had another eSIM of Visible, which runs off of Verizon's network. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go and shoot it for the can starting in January, where I went and got the 13 Pro Max. And I've had it ever since, and I'm really happy with it, to the point that I've went through 169 gigabytes of hotspot data on Visible. But we don't talk about that. Yeah, I use a lot of cellular data because my network here is good, but it drops off quickly, especially when I'm in my other office that's on the property, which that studio I'm working on right now as we speak.
We are increasingly offloading more and more tasks that would have been done using other gadgets onto them. Our smartphones are now our primary navigation devices, our content machines, our banking platforms. And so it's not just that we use them more and therefore we need them to last longer, but it would also be a bigger problem than ever if they suddenly died randomly in the middle of the day.
And then at this rate, I'm going to say go get the Anker PowerCore 5K if you're a really heavy user, because I really like that battery pack.
Video player.
I still use it on 13 Pro Max because, bruh, 5G is rough. It kills my battery. It sucks.
1408. Samir Salim, also, do you think with iOS 16 Apple could drop support for 2 chips at the same time, because Apple has never done this before, because if a 9 gets iOS 16, the 6S gets it too?
I'm gonna put it down and say that I see the iPad Mini 4, the iPhone 6S, the iPad Air 2 all being dropped. I see them all going poof, and the SE, first gen. The one that I see that it would shock me if it got dropped, but I don't know why Apple would do that. But hey, my my guess is my guess. I see them dropping the iPhone 7 possibly. Possibly. I'm not saying they will. There's about a 30 I'm giving it a 30% chance right now that the iPhone 7 will not get iOS 16. 30. The iPhone 6S, 6S Plus, SE, I'm giving it a 75% chance that they won't get 16. The iPad Air 2 and the iPad Mini 4 is definitely at like 90% chance of not getting iOS 16. The iPad Air 2, I'm giving that a conservative 80%. How about that?
One thing to also keep in mind for this test is that I've made sure that all phones are on their default settings. I think it's the fairest way to do it, because it's probably what 95% of people will use them on. But just bear in mind that it does mean different things for each phone. They are all matched in terms of having a lighter coloured wallpaper, removing the SIM card from each, as that can create a whole load of extra variables, and keeping them on light mode instead of dark mode. But where they differ...
Yeah, that could create a whole load of variables. And my 13 Pro Max, surprisingly, of the battery life, I'm surprised considering I'm dual simmed and I'm running both sims at the same time. So yeah.
Is that both the Pixel and the iPhone run at a much higher screen resolution than the Samsungs and the Xiaomi, and neither of those two phones give you the ability to lower it. That said, it can't be that much of a disadvantage given that the iPhone is now leading by more than 10 percentage points. One thing I do always notice about the iPhone in these tests though is that even though Apple has trimmed down those black screen borders since the original iPhone 10, they do still look pretty chunky up against all these full screen, near bezel-less Androids.
I don't honestly care. I like my 13 Pro Max the way it is.
09, Samir 14, 09, Samir Salim, I see it, but it would be interesting to see 2 chips at the same time, but we'll 100% know by June.
Yep. We'll start seeing leaks about iOS 16 device support within the next month or two. So a sub to the channel will be greatly appreciated to check that out. And I will be covering all the updates. And I will be doing videos on how to, do restores and all that. And getting everyone ready for the best iOS 16 walkthrough if you want to run the beta.
It doesn't affect the screen size itself though, so as far as battery's concerned, it shouldn't have an impact. Can't believe I tried to play this game on 5 phones at once. Okay, so now that all phones are...
That's impressive, because I watched this twice.
I guess
now, this is my second time.
I'm just going to start fast forwarding so we can get to the results. It does seem though at this point that the S21 Ultra is going to beat the S22 Ultra, and...
Bruh. What? Bruh. What? Wait, did I hear that correctly? Hold up.
It does seem though at this point that the S21 Ultra is going to beat the S22 Ultra, and I've been racking my brain trying to figure out...
Ouch! That's tough. Ooh.
How this could be possible. A couple of thoughts. One, the S Pen that you now get inside this new S22 Ultra could be sipping some extra power. Two, it could be that this new Exynos chip, even though it might be more efficient for some tasks, may actually use more energy when being pushed to its peak level of performance.
That is possible. He's using the Exynos chip instead of the Snapdragon 8 the new chip that they named, which is really crazy. I in the next YouTube video that I'll watch here, Max Tech did a head-to-head with the iPhone 13 Pro Max and S22 Ultra and stuff like that. And then at the very end, I'm going to wrap it up with some 5G tech.
That peak is higher than before. 3, it's also possible that the thermals inside this new phone just aren't as good. And if the phone is getting hotter, its battery will drain faster. And finally, it could be some level of software optimization. Unlikely, given that with past Samsung phones, how they've been at launch is how they've tended to stay, but possible. Okay, the Pixel is dead. So is the Xiaomi.
Rest in peace, Xiaomi and Pixel. Nikita writes in.
14, 13, Nikita Smith. Oh dang, when an older beats a newer phone, that's rough.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do a bit of a mass extinction right now. Let's just sweep through the entire test and get straight on to which phone lasted for how long. Okay, so in 5th position is the Google Pixel 6 Pro. It's a very strong performance for last place with a time of 7 hours and 6 minutes. And so...
Damn, Pixel. I'm legitimately impressed. Like, if I'm not a tech nerd and I like the Apple ecosystem, like, okay, I know people that are going to the Pixel from LG, and I'm completely for that and stuff like that.
Even though it has lost this test, unless you're an extreme power user, I don't think battery should be a reason to not consider this phone. Then
Agree, Aaron. I strongly agree with that statement there. That, you know, if you're not a high power user, then the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro battery are pretty good.
4th place, we have Xiaomi 12 Pro, which I've not got around to making a full video about, but is a really solid refinement from last year's Mi 11, and it definitely looks a lot better too. But yeah, so this phone had a total time of 7 hours 34, which...
Good job, Xiaomi. I mean, yeah, you came in 4th place, but good job.
puts it very firmly in the category of great battery life, especially given that it has the smallest capacity battery of all the Androids on this table. Then we've got the S22 Ultra, and whilst I am a little concerned / confused why this didn't outlast its predecessor, if we just put that all aside for a second, 8 hours and 8 minutes is a hell of a lot of screen on time. And so as
Agreed. That is ferocious.
far as the battery's concerned, I've got no hesitation in still recommending it. The S21 Ultra wasn't really far ahead at 8 hours 15, so...
Meh, that's pretty good still.
14,
Kind of
Nikita
rough,
Smith.
but
Damn, that's actually impressive.
that's kind of rough, but meh, still pretty good. Let's see.
That's probably not quite enough of a gap to conclusively say that it beats its successor, but
14,
at the same time it is
16,
enough to say that it doesn't lose
Yeah, I'd be concerned as well.
Yeah, agreed. I would too.
it. Also, side note, this is the first time I've had proper hands-on with the silver variant of this phone. Isn't it just beautiful? Oh yeah, and then in
Wow,
first place,
that is.
we have the iPhone 13 Pro Max.
Get ready for it. Get ready for it. I was actually watching this, and I was in a school at the time because I was on a break. My jaw, figuratively speaking, hit the floor. Just straight up. My jaw dropped and surprised, and it died from the shock.
Let me ask you, how long do you think it lasted?
All right, before we continue, Mr. Aaron from Mr. Who's the Boss asked, how long do you think it lasts? Put it in the live chat. If you're watching after the live chat, put it in the comments. I'd be curious what y'all think. How long do you think the 13 Pro Max lasted?
Custom emojis. Button. Voiceover.
I will be waiting. And in the meantime, I'm going to check my audio levels to make sure they've been good. And graphic levels. Because I know the last time I did a reaction video, it did not end so well. This Mac got super hot. And I lost 4% battery health thanks to that. Which was special. Floor. Just straight up.
If we just put that all aside for a second, 8 hours and 8 minutes is a hell of a lot of screen on time. That's as
Agreed. That is ferocious.
far as the battery's concerned, I've got no hesitation in still recommending it.
Man, it's still a little choppy. I don't know what's up with that choppiness.
12, 14, 17, Nikita Smith. I'm gonna make a huge risk and say at least 10 hours.
You're going to say 10 hours. Samir Salim, if you're still watching, I want to see what you think. If you haven't watched the video yet. Now, if you have watched the video, then just put it either in the comments or the live chat. Watch the video. I'm not going to respond. Or just don't comment. So, I'll wait a few more minutes. Interact. Nikita, you say 10 hours. I'll say you're not putting something huge out there. You put your final guess, hopefully. Because if you didn't, you can change your guess right now before I finally say it's over with. But yeah, let's see.
1418. YouTube. Voiceover. 1418.
Someone just texted me. Get out of here. Tony.
1419. Voiceover 1418. Samir Salim. I think about 10 as well.
All right, so y'all both say 10. All right, the guesses are over with. We have officially from Mr. Who's the Boss.
8 hours 30? 9 hours? Nope. 10 hours, 27 minutes. It's not just better.
Damn, sheesh. 10 hours and 27 minutes of screen on time.
It is in a whole other tier of endurance. To see if the S22 Ultra fares better when it comes to camera, that video's over here. Or for 50 surprising facts about me, I'll leave that video over here. My name is Aaron, this is Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'll catch you in the next one.
You can actually go visit his channel by clicking the link to this video in the description down below. Alright, so now Max Tech did a video, I think it was today or it was a few days ago. Let me find it now. Where he did a video where he did the S22 Ultra versus iPhone 13. Let me find that. Give me a sec to find the video. It's around here somewhere. And we have it right here. Get here, Taco Bell. Alright. I'll try to leave a link to it in the description. Give me a sec to airdrop it to the Mac. Like that. I love that. Alright, so I don't get, like, flagged. So. Wow. I'm still shocked over here. Alright. Let's see. I can't find it now. Darn it. Come on. You. Alright. I want to go to the description. Turn. Space a little bit.
Voiceover off. HTTPS. Back. Button. Edit thumbnail. Button. Image. Adult. Voiceover off.
Alright. And now I go over to the actual channel down here.
Max Tech. Speaking rate. Words. Max. Tech. Tech. Max.
Max Tech.
Voiceover off.
Alright, I wanted to make sure I had the Max Tech video correct. Alright. So, what to do? Edit. No, I don't want to copy link. YouTube's going to be fun for me.
Voiceover on. YouTube. Select period colon HTTPS. Character. Space. New line. New line.
Max Tech video here, comma.
Inserted Max Tech video here. Space. O. Word. V. Tech. Max. Max. Tech. Video here. Voiceover off.
Alright. Description has been updated. So doing these live streams is fun because you have to update your description.
Pre-order now and get up to $200 Samsung.
I don't care. Alright, so he just got Samsung's Galaxy S22 Ultra in studio.
We just got Samsung's brand new S22 Ultra in the office, and there's no doubt a ton of hype over this phone for good reason. But
this happens with a lot of flagships, unless you're a budget phone. That there's a lot of stop playing. A lot of tech ordeal hype.
YouTube 1419. Nikita Smith. Dim. We were actually somewhat close. Still, that's impressive.
Yes, it is.
1422. Samir Salim. The Cephei should feature the XR11 design because Apple is going to be releasing a device with a home button in 2022.
I don't know. It's based on rumors. It's going to be featuring the same iPhone 8 design with upgraded internal guts.
1422. Samir Salim. Over here in the UK, the 11 and 12 and 13 are seen all the time. Welcome to Learn for Custom Emote 1423. Nikita Smith. Honestly, I kind of doubt that. But then again, how am I to know?
find out in this video is if it can take down the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Yes, that's Apple's flagship, and
well, in battery life, we already found out that it didn't. Oof, that just got destroyed.
that, we're going to be testing everything, including the display quality, the performance, speaker quality, the physical dimensions and design, the thermals, display dimming, and everything else, including the cameras as well. So let's jump right into it. All right, now taking the cover off, and look at that. There's the new S22. Wow, this looks...
Dang, that does look nice. Like I said, it's the iPhone equivalent of Android. Literally, the Samsung devices are the iPhone equivalent of Android.
14, 24, Samir Salim. Yes, I'm saying it should feature the XR or 11 design, but it will of course still feature the iPhone I design.
So much like the old Note. In fact, I have the Note 20 Ultra right here, and putting them side by side, this is hilarious. It's almost identical.
This is why when MKBHD when he called it the Note 22 Ultra or the S22 Note Ultra, people got all up in arms. No, Samsung merged their Note Ultra S20 line into the S22 Ultra.
So basically the S22 Ultra is literally a Note 20 Ultra with updated internals is what it looks like. And I do want to mention that we're going to be doing a full comparison between the Note 22 Ultra and the S22 Ultra. So if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that right now so you don't miss out. Now what I'm really curious about is the design of the back and how it looks in real life. Wow, look at that. This, yeah, this thing is beautiful. Wow, look at that, just separated camera bumps, just how I like it. Let's take this off. Woo! Wow, that's really good. I don't know, guys. The old S21 Ultra, the design of the camera bumps was horrible. It's ugly. Look at this thing. It's just a chunk. It's a brick attached to the side that blends into the frame. I literally, guys, I couldn't stand this design, but this new one. This looks so incredibly clean. Comparing...
Yeah, I agree. I don't like the S21 Ultra where there was like a chunk sticking out with the camera housing, and then you had all that fun jazz in it. I honestly did not really like that as well.
To the iPhone 13 Pro Max, man, it's right up there. It looks so good. Now, I do want to mention I have a...
Hold on, everyone. I'll be right back. Give me a sec. Father was going to ask me a question because I was going to tell him something earlier, but I'm streaming right now. It would take me a little while to explain to him what I was going to explain about some code or, state law, whatever nonsense. But here we go.
Leather skin from Nomad on my iPhone, but behind that is the matte glass texture.
Okay, I don't know what it is with these phone brands, and I get that, these content creators like it and whatever, but I be honest, I got a different MagSafe case. I have the clear one, but
1427.
I actually purchased another MagSafe case, as y'all saw by my video, my 1 month later video, that I got a new one, or that I had a crack in my clear one. So in turn, I got the, as it says on Apple's website, product red, but when you connect it to the phone, when you do this,
1427.
interrupt. VoiceOver's acting weird. Give me a sec. So for people that are visually impaired, it will say this.
1428.
It's not doing it now. Come on, quit focusing on the time. Good grief.
Dark pink silicone MagSafe case detected.
Dark pink silicone MagSafe case detected. It's product red, according to the website, but I took the iPhone 11, and I'm like, it's red, but it's a light shaded red. So it's kind of like the iPhone 12, but a little bit on the red side.
This feels just as good. Wow, I'm shocked at how good this looks. And now holding both of these in my hands, even though the S22 Ultra seems bigger, it actually is a little bit more comfortable because the iPhone has those flat, chunky, thick sides, so it doesn't really wrap around your palm. But this, the smooth sides and the edges, really feels nice and comfortable, and it kind of makes me miss the old iPhone 11 design.
I don't miss it, but I do miss it. It's a double-edged sword with me.
Voiceover on 1424. Nikita Smith. Oof. That's just 1427. Samir Salim. The 14 I'm pretty sure will still have 2 cameras. We have not heard much changes about the regular 14. The Pros always get more changes.
Yeah, I don't like the new thing. I don't care about the notch, to be honest. It is what it is. I like the notch on the 13 Pro Max. I don't know why everyone's all in bustle about it. Tech community is, but I get why. But everyone else is just like, ugh. Now what's being rumored with the whole punch display ordeal, it just makes it look bad also.
And you do have the boxy top and bottom, but it doesn't feel like it's really jamming into my palm too much, so comfort's pretty good. And of course we have the S Pen hidden at the bottom. This is actually a really important feature because last year's S21 Ultra supported the S Pen, but you had nowhere to put it, so it had to be outside of the phone. So having this note design is definitely a big win, and we'll cover the S Pen in just a minute. And if I
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So
1430.
yeah, if you had the S Pen, you had to keep it in. You couldn't store it away.
YouTube. 14. Watching YouTube on 1430. Samir Salim. Yes, I looked at the notch design and it don't satisfy me. I never have minded the notch me.
Yeah. See, like, I'm a tech nerd. I've upgraded to the 13 Pro Max. It's definitely a better quality display than the 11. But like right now, I'm using the 11 to read chats.
were to compare and choose a winner for the overall design aspects, I would honestly have to give it
Google Fi, a phone plan by Google.
Yeah, you're on all carriers if you have a Pixel, but if you're a iPhone user or any other Android phone, you get shipped with stupid AT&T. Which, yeah, it's okay, but Verizon does better.
Unlimited data, calls, and texts for the Fi Unlimited plan, starting at $30 per month for each line.
to the S22 Ultra because of that clean hole punch, the thin bezels that are thinner than the iPhone, and of course, this new camera bump design with the white contrast that I really, really like. And now with that said, let's go through the setup process. And here I'm gonna add a fingerprint using the really good under display fingerprint scanner. So let's get this set up. And there you go, just like that. Adding
Like I said, it's really good, but I prefer Face ID.
fingerprint, and apparently this works better than it has before for years. So there you go, the fingerprint is added. And I do want to mention that with the iPhone 13 Pro Max, the really nice new feature that Apple is adding is that they're making Face ID finally work with masks. And that is a huge deal because I personally believe they no longer need under display Touch ID if Face ID works well. So let me pull out a mask. I got it on, and watch this. There you go, I just unlocked my iPhone with the mask on, and now testing out the fingerprint sensor. I cannot believe how good this is working compared to how it did with the older Samsung devices. Like, this is perfect, and I'm very impressed. Yeah, super fast.
That is actually pretty fast. I'm legitimately surprised. But like I said, the S, or not the S, the whole Face ID with a mask, it's nice to have. But where I live, they finally got rid of all the mask fun nonsense.
But still, I prefer Face ID because it's automatic. And now before we get into comparing the displays and all the differences in quality, brightness, and everything else, let's go ahead and test out the speaker quality.
Alright, so since I don't have the speaker system routed into the actual stream feed, we're going to turn the JBL up all the way and let it rip. This is going to be loud.
Speaker quality. All right, I don't know about you guys, but the iPhone completely did.
Okay, I don't know about y'all on the stream if y'all were able to hear that correctly, but I heard it even through the headphones. And the iPhone destroyed the S22 Ultra when it came down to the speaker quality. I actually felt some bass from it. That
Remember to voice over off.
okay, that is kind of wow. Really? That's kind of sad.
Merge their.
Hold on, let me see what the stream pulled up.
It kind of makes me miss the old
Kind of sad.
iPhone
Let me see.
speaker quality.
There's the S22 Ultra. And there's the iPhone 13 Pro Max. S22 Ultra. iPhone 13 Pro Max. Yeah, you could definitely hear it over the JBL system soundbar that I have in here. That you definitely heard the iPhone 13 Pro Max speaker quality start kicking.
Destroyed the S22 Ultra, which is really weird because it's usually back and forth, winner, 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 but this time the S22 Ultra is worse because the iPhone has brighter, cleaner, sharper highs as well as louder mids and especially better and deeper bass. It just blows the speakers away. Now what makes me think is what if Samsung had to basically put in worse speakers because it has a larger battery, 5,000 milliamp hours compared to 4,500 in the old Note 20 Ultra design. So we're actually going to find that out by comparing.
That is plausible. There's a possibility that that is a reality, but I don't know.
Voiceover, YouTube, video 1433, Samir Salim. A lot of features are limited to a 12 and above. The 11 devices don't get a lot of iOS 15 features, and a lot of devices have the 12 chip, so it probably would go up to iOS 22. 1434, Samir Salim. Also, when you said if iPhone 7 doesn't get iOS 16, it has to because the 2019 iPad has the same 10 chips, and that's for sure being supported.
Yeah, that is true. I forgot about them iPads. But iPad OS is kind of different to iOS because, like, the A8 in the iPad Mini 4 is being supported, but an A8 chip in an iPhone is not being supported.
Here's to the S21 Ultra and the Note 20 Ultra, so definitely subscribe. And now with that said, let's go ahead and compare the displays. Now the first thing I notice is that the bezels on the S22 Ultra are just so much thinner than the ones on the iPhone, especially on the sides right here because of that curved display compared to the flat design on the iPhone. And the biggest difference is that hole punch camera, which looks so much more clean compared to the notch, even though the notch is smaller. And that top bezel is also much thinner, whereas the bottom one is around the same. But man, the bezels on this thing just looks so good and so nice. And in terms of maximum brightness, Samsung actually markets up to 7.
So I'm noticing with the brightness here, you could tell a little bit on Mac's camera system. I believe this is Max doing the video. You could tell the difference because it's a group channel, I've noticed. But the iPhone 13 Pro Max is on the left side, while the S22 Ultra is on the right side. And I've noticed that the 13 Pro Max is a little bit more pop, if that's what I want to say. It's a little bit more sharp, I've noticed. It's a tad bit brighter.
1850 maximum, that's with HDR, compared to 1200 only on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. But now that I've raised it up using the regular typical brightness,
and I get an ad.
Pre-order now and get up to
This is an S22 Ultra or S22 ad.
$100 Samsung credit and a free storage upgrade.
Hi, Samsung. Get out of here.
What does the future of strength look like? It's a personal trainer that assesses your strength and adds weight as you progress. It's dynamic weight that adjusts for you in real time for a more efficient.
they almost look identical, which is weird because it seems like the Samsung should be brighter. And in the
Yeah, based on this, the iPhone looks brighter while the S22 Ultra looks a little bit more dull. Like the iPhone has a higher quality display, but Samsung and Apple make the same display. That looks kind of what? I'm a little bit confused.
past, the Samsung was always a little bit dimmer than the iPhone, but now it looks like they finally finally caught up in terms of just maxing out the slider.
Yeah, they did. They did on that part.
Without going outside or without using HDR. Now, seeing as we actually have to watch some HDR content to get up to that full 1750 nits, I have an HDR YouTube video open right here with the same settings on both the iPhone and the Samsung. So there you go. All right, guys, this is really weird because the iPhone, even though it only goes up to 1200 instead of 1750, it looks generally brighter in almost.
All right, let me catch up with chat because we got a lot of chats.
1437. Samir Salim, the iPad Mini 4 got the iPad OS 15 update because it had 2 GB of RAM compared to the 1 GB in the iPhone 6.
True that.
1438. Samir Salim, if iPhone 6 has 2 GB, it would have gotten iOS 15. 1439. Samir Salim, yes, the iPhone does look way brighter. However, I feel like Samsung have more vibrant colors, especially when watching videos.
Yeah, but watch what happens with this HDR stuff. Now, the video on camera that this is in is not HDR.
Every scene, oh, especially this one inside the building. That is so weird that it looks brighter. It doesn't make any sense. Now, I did update the YouTube app on both phones, and I don't know why the Samsung's not getting that bright. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that the peak brightness of, like, let's say the clouds and the sun, they're actually very similar, but everything else, including the mids, the shadows, everything else is just kind of crushed or dimmed down on the Samsung compared to the iPhone, which kind of gets everything brought up and it looks brighter and I'd say nicer, especially in terms of the colors. Especially right here, you can look, the iPhone's reproducing some really nice red shades and the green shades in the leaves. Yep, and right here I am seeing the fireworks where the bright flashes are a little bit brighter on the Note, but everything else is dimmer. So the HDR video just ended, and let me tell you guys, I am disappointed because I thought Samsung's 1750 nit rating would just be mind-blowing compared to the iPhone, but it's actually quite the opposite, with the iPhone looking better in almost all of the scenes. And I wonder if that's just the HDR processing that's better on the iPhone, maybe in terms of the app software or something else, but the iPhone actually wins here. And now let's finally get into performance testing, and this is a big deal because...
Oh boy, this is when it gets dicey, especially when he does a Geekbench test.
40. Samir Salim, I prefer the iPhone's display colors though.
Yes. Like I said, I prefer the... Okay, Samsung throws out what they can throw out, the best top dog specs, but Apple, when they do something, they perfect it. They try to perfect it as much as possible before they throw it out there. I've noticed.
The S22 Ultra has the brand new Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip, which is supposed to be a...
All right, so it's an 8 Gen 1. So it's their 8th, but it's their 8 series Generation 1 chip, and well. Let's see what it lives up to the hype of.
Pretty big improvement on the graphics side, but let's start with the CPU. Of course, we have the iPhone 13 Pro Max with the A15 Bionic with the performance cores clocked in at 3.23 gigahertz.
Which I've noticed, the way if you measure an ARM architecture chip in x86 computing form factors, those are your high cores, but then if you add all cores running together, you get your max clock speed. So it goes up to about 4.5 gigahertz, 4.5, based on analytics. I don't have a bunch of notes jotted down on frequency, performance, calculations, and all that fun mathematical stuff that I've built up for the chips, for Apple's architecture chip frequency calculations. But for the sake of this video and not getting nerdy, we'll stick at the clock speed of 3.23 gigahertz.
With 6 gigs of RAM, and
it's a 6-core CPU.
And on the other hand, we have 12 gigs of RAM, so double.
12 gigs of RAM. I don't know how many cores it is. I think it might be a 8 core. I don't 100% know.
And we have a single core that's clocked at 3.0, which is a little bit lower. But let's go ahead and start this benchmark. We have our scores, and it looks like both single core and multi-core is 38% faster on the iPhone. And let me tell you guys, I've never been this disappointed because of all...
Alright, so for my visually impaired audience, we are looking at a single core score of... Give me a sec to look back. All right, so on the actual app, what he's showing is we're looking at a single core score. I'm laughing over here. Wow. On the iPhone 13 Pro Max, 1,729. Multi-core, 4,790. Damn. S22 Ultra. We're looking at a single core score of 1,247. Multi-core score, 3,478. Bruh, that's as fast as like the 11.
On the iPhone, and let me tell you guys, I've never been this disappointed because of all of the hype with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, including the whole rebranding, and the performance is just so far behind. In fact, it's so far behind that the iPhone 11 has
Yeah, I'm gonna call it right now. I think I found the single biggest productivity hack of 2021. It's this.
Get out of here. So the iPhone 11 literally gets the same performance as this. That's kind of what? Seriously?
Chrome extension called Speechify, and it literally does my.
I don't
had
care.
fast
I don't care about Speechify. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. So we have all the scores. Let's hit the. All right. So if you remember the 11, we'll break this down. The 11 that he got in hand. Bro, what? Hey, wait. Hold up. So I'm looking at these scores here. Yeah, this is the 11, but it's on a different phone because it's showing the 5G networks. What the heck? 1,312 single core, 3,272. So multi-core, the S22 Ultra beat out in that test.
single core and almost as much multi-core performance, which is just mind-blowing that they're that far behind Apple. And with that said, I know that was just a raw power benchmark, so let's actually run a speedometer web browsing test to see how that's going to translate into kind of real-world usage. And
all right, so I'm gonna let this go through, and I will catch y'all at the end of this video, and then I got something to talk about. Speaking of 5G, Verizon's been trolling T-Mobile in Ohio.
look at that, the iPhone is actually 2.5 times faster in this test, so it's basically going to make everything more snappy. Now, of course, the Samsung has a lot of power in it, more than enough than what you would need, but with the iPhone, if you still have it 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road, that extra power is going to make it work better in the future compared to this that has less, and it might be struggling with apps later on. Now, while this
Wow. But that's true.
14,
That is so
14,
true.
14, 33, Samir Salim.
Ah.
Page 4 of 14, 40, Samir Salim. I prefer the iPhone's display colors though. 14, 41, Samir Salim. Samsung tablets are way too slow though Apple tablets are just amazing value, especially the iPad 9.
Yes. Yeah. And for educational purposes too, for like schools and stuff like that.
14, 43, Samir Salim. Apple's chipsets are amazing. I mean, look at the success it flew on iOS 9 through iOS 13.
It's still a beast. I was messing with an iPhone 6s Plus, and I was like, dang.
CPU performance isn't that.
Samir Salim. Still is decent even on iOS 15. Honestly, I could see the 6s get iOS 16.
Possibility.
Impressive with the Snapdragon.
Samir Salim. My 11 score is about 5 better than that S22 Ultra.
Yikes. Okay, while we're at it, I'll run a quick Geekbench test on 15.4 beta 4 since it calibrated finally all the indexing.
8 Gen 1. The big improvement is actually the graphics, and the hype was saying that it's basically competitive with the iPhone. So let's go ahead and run 3D Mark's Wildlife Extreme Unlimited test, and we're going to be taking a look at the display dimming to see if it dims, and the thermals and the heat as well. So let's run. And it looks like the iPhone was faster. It got over 18% higher in terms of the score, and that's actually really
That's really surprising. Well, all right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make this all fair. I'm gonna close out every app on the iPhone. Only Geekbench is gonna stay open, and I'm gonna relaunch Geekbench just to make it fair, and then we're gonna run CPU, and we're off to the races.
Because a lot of the hype in the test showed that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 basically matched or even sometimes beat the A15, but here we see that is not the case at all. All right, and now I turned on the extreme stress test, and the point of this is to see if we get any display dimming on either of these phones, and then we're going to check the temperatures to see which one gets hot and which one does not.
He's got a thermal camera, which these things are pretty cool actually. I want to get my hands on a thermal camera. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting to see how hot these things get. Speaking of hot temperatures, there is a nice app for Mac OS if you have a Mac running, an M1 Mac or whatever.
VoiceOver. On Safari. S.
It's called
Launchpad.
Hot.
App Store. Out of grid. Page changed. Page 2. Radio button. 2 of 2. Grid. 3 rows. 7 columns. In grid. Underground. Pod display. Sky. Underground. Gray brown. Blue. Hot. Cloudflare work. Hot. Safari. S.
And it goes
Ultra version 13.
it goes in your status bar here. So you go to
Menu
menu
extras.
extras if you voiceover user.
Hot. 159 degrees Fahrenheit. Menu extra.
So we're still running hot.
VoiceOver off.
I don't know why we're still running at 159, 160.
So far, it does look like the frames per second is higher, visibly higher on the iPhone. And it looks much worse than the 18% difference we saw earlier. And well, I think the iPhone just dimmed. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but it dimmed down slightly as far as I know. Oh, there you go. And now the Samsung is quite a bit brighter. Oh, it dimmed again. Look how dark that is. Oh, wow. Man, it looks like the iPhone is still struggling with overheating her in terms of the dimming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out a thermal camera and take a look. And now I'm...
Yeah, the active cooling system in the S22 Ultra I heard is actually really good. That's one good thing that the S22 had going for it.
looking at the thermals between both of these.
Hi, I'm Stella Chu. The ROG Flow X13 is an incredibly versatile laptop that I'm able to use in my entire creative process. It's also great for playing games on the go and streaming directly to my fans. And if you really want to take your gaming up a notch, the ROG XG Mobile...
Guess what? Here's the thermal cameras, and at the same time, my Mac still can do as good as that advertised computer, so boo-hoo.
Is saying that the Samsung is hotter. So let's actually zoom in onto the iPhone. We're looking at 41 degrees Celsius.
All right, you can check out the thermal cameras while I read out the Geekbench scores. I was getting a single core score on this iPhone 11. We are at, if battery does matter, 52% battery. Yeah, 52%. We're getting a single core score of 1,322 and a multi-core score of 3,296.
And then over to the Samsung. Whoa, 45 degrees. That's actually a huge difference.
45 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So, for clarification, if it didn't catch it at all.
44. Definitely hotter on the Samsung. And you can see that the iPhone just has...
And I set the hot app to actually be in Fahrenheit. So my Mac is like not burning hot. It's 159 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit.
One hotspot, and like the entire Samsung looks pretty hot. And the reason for that is because the Samsung has a really good cooling system where it has the vapor chamber system that spreads the heat, which is actually very good compared to the iPhone that does not have that. And even still, it's only 40 degrees Celsius. So, man, I wish Apple gave it a better cooling system so it didn't dim. And
Yeah, I kind of agree there. I kind of wish Apple did that.
YouTube. The Tom Gully Show was hidden by Nikita Smith.
Oh, boy. What time is it?
Voiceover off.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Voiceover 1449. Samir Salim. Sad news about the iPad 10. I heard it will still have the same design, but just will have a 14 chip and 5 grams, and I think it will have 4 GB of RAM, so matching the iPhone 12 and 12 mini processor and RAM.
Bruh, come on, Apple.
14, 15, 14. The Tom Kelly Show
Hmm.
tomorrow button. Voiceover off. Voiceover off. 14:53. Samir Salim in running Geekbench scores on my 11 running iOS. Voiceover off.
Let's see. Does it show me the time when he
Voice-
commented?
The Tom Kelly Show tomorrow button.
Nope.
Voiceover off.
Let's see. Does it show what time he
Voiceover on
commented
YouTube.
over here?
14:51.
Yeah,
The voiceover off.
14:51. I want to do something. All right. Thank you, Nikita, for monitoring chats. But I got my answer I wanted. Commented at 2:51 p.m. Period. I'm gonna save that screenshot just because.
I'm noticing that the Samsung has also dimmed down, not quite to the same level as the iPhone, but it's definitely dim. And in terms of the FPS, the iPhone is still beating it out in basically every scene. And
That's impressive, actually. Still.
The Tom Kelly Show with 14:53. Samir Salim in running Geekbench scores on my 11 running iOS. 15.4 beta 4.
Okay, I was wondering if you're running the beta, because I know you run beta. I didn't remember if you ran betas or not, but yeah. I have them even on the 13 Pro Max, but I'm not going to run a Geekbench score.
77% battery power. 5G.
Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi. Turn Wi-Fi on.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first. Okay, I turned Wi-Fi up.
14:55.
That's interesting.
you know what? I think I'm actually going to be doing a gaming comparison between the two, testing out the gaming performance in terms of the FPS, dimming, and everything else. So if you want to see that, definitely subscribe right now. Now, before I get into other different...
3411 multi-core.
Yeah, I don't know why this thing... Well, what's your battery health at, probably? Your maximum capacity. Because this thing is at... Setting says 96%. Coconut battery said otherwise. Coconut battery is saying about 98 to 99% on my Mac. But that's still pretty good for single and multi-core performance.
It says like the battery life and the cameras. I do want to talk about this S Pen. First of all, I'm very happy that you could put it into the chassis, but let's test it out. Ooh, look at that. Has a very interesting paper-like sound effect, and as far as I know, it's incredibly responsive. So this is one of the benefits to having the S Pen compared to the...
If you didn't see my last live stream where I react to the unboxing of it, according now, it is now down to 9 milliseconds in speed latency.
Phone that does not support the Apple Pencil, and that's because Apple wants you to buy an iPad, because even the budget iPad supports the Apple Pencil, but not the iPhone. So if you like to take a lot of handwritten notes, the Samsung is definitely the way to go. And now let's talk about the battery life. First of all, the battery size, or the milliamp hours on the S.
Is 96% funny enough.
Huh, that's funny. I don't know. Like, it could be because this phone's lower on battery. I'm in a warmer climate than you probably are, and whatever. You know, there's a lot of variables I can add to these Geekbench scores.
Show latest messages button.
Oh, good grief.
To Ultra is about 15% larger than on the iPhone. But according to Mr. Who's the Boss's battery life test, the iPhone actually got 2 hours and 19 minutes more screen on time than the S22 Ultra, which doesn't really make sense apart from the software optimizations. And the worst part of all is that the S22 Ultra scored worse.
That's one thing I forgot to add. The performance is the thing. The optimization of Android versus iOS. And that's where I think the iPhone floored it. I'm assuming.
Than last year's S21 Ultra, which doesn't really make sense, but the iPhone is still the battery life king. And now getting into the camera differences, I've got to say that Apple has been kind of lagging behind because Samsung now has 4 cameras on the back, including a 3x telephoto and a 10x telephoto. And we've been hearing that it's been a really, really good improvement. And then on the front side, the S22 Ultra has a 40 megapixel selfie camera compared to just 12 on the iPhone, just like it was before. And as far as the main rear camera, the Samsung has a 108 megapixel resolution camera compared to just 12 on the iPhone. So that gives them a sharpness advantage, as well as allowing them to shoot an 8K video. So we're actually very
browse the internet and do very light tasks.
Yeah, that's the way my sister is. She don't care. She's upgrading, I think, to the 12 or an 11 because they just browse the internet. Me, I do, well, of course, YouTube, and then I do my own stuff on my phone. And, that's where that comes into play. But I also have the iPad Pro here, and this iPad Pro is probably going to go flat today because of the fact that it's being used as a mic setup system. So that's fun.
excited to test this because tomorrow we're going to be releasing our blind, unbiased camera comparison, which is always very fun. All 3 of us are looking and examining the photos. So if you're not already subscribed, do.
All right, I don't care about cameras. So there's that. The link to this video is in the description if you want to check out Max Tech and stuff like that. Another tech content creator on YouTube. Go ahead. He does create good stuff. He can be a little bit on the annoying side, but we all could be on the annoying side when it comes down to making content. Now, this is short, probably. Yeah, it's a short video.
Interesting, unfortunate development. Visible has terminated some legitimate customer accounts. No idea what's happened.
Okay, then. So we got some breaking news in the studio here. Visible has terminated some accounts, according to Sneed's videos. Sneed, which is Sneed Tech.
Sneed Mobile Tech.
Sneed Mobile Tech.
Voiceover off.
Visible apparently has terminated some accounts. Here is the YouTube Shorts. I'll leave a link to his channel since he has so many shorts here right now. Here is the short video.
Interesting, unfortunate development. Visible has terminated some legitimate customer accounts. No idea what's happening there, but it appears that some people on Reddit and Twitter, as I've seen them, have been complaining that Visible has just terminated their accounts and lost their phone numbers. Affected customers were trying to redeem a recent promotion for a $200 gift card in order to reduce their plan pricing over the course of the first couple of months. Visible has since responded to indicate that the cancellations were targeted at those that have the promotional terms and conditions. So it looks like there may have been some sort of snafu. So Visible had identified a set of accounts that were established illegitimately and in violation of their terms and conditions, and they terminated those accounts, but it appears that maybe they have included some accounts that were legitimate. I hope this has not happened to you. If it has, hopefully things can be fixed.
Okay, it has not happened to me, thank God. Well, I didn't take in part into the promotion thing with the $200 promotion, but thank God my thing wasn't swiped because like I use Visible. I like the Verizon network. The bandwidth is great. I don't need my thing being sideswiped and deleted.
What Visible is going to be doing about the repair, but I thought I'd let you know about this update.
So there's that update. Just in Sneed Mobile Tech. I'll leave a link to the actual channel in the description. And then at the same time, he released another short earlier today of Verizon trolling at a T-Mobile store.
Selected. Trolling T-Mobile in front of the store. Voiceover off.
It's trolling T-Mobile in front of the store. So, the 5G war here in the United States is getting real with Verizon and AT&T and T-Mobile. And now soon coming out of the woods, bright and hot, Dish Mobile. So the satellite company Dish is now making a cellular network across America. Here is the T-Mobile trolling. And I'm going to wrap this up.
If you've never heard of UPAC, that's okay. We don't
All right.
spend money on expensive TV commercials or radio jingles. Instead, we keep marketing costs low and pass those savings on to you.
Even if you haven't heard of us, we've been busy. We've helped with over 850,000 moves, transported over 1 billion miles. With a claim rate that's less than 1%, we're confident we can help you too. One of the great things about UPAC is that we don't need to know the exact date you're moving. Just a
I don't care.
We're at the
All right, so he's at a T-Mobile store. He'll say probably where, hopefully. So this is a T-Mobile store.
we're at the T-Mobile store in Medina Township, trolling.
I believe this is Medina Township, Ohio. Because I know he said that he was in Ohio. Because I watch him quite a lot now. And stuff like that.
Testing Verizon N77C.
So this is the Verizon N77 C-band, which is the equivalent of T-Mobile Ultra Capacity Network N41. Right in front of the T-Mobile store.
Like all right. Ping time is 26 milliseconds. Jitter is 5.5 millisecond. Yep.
This is actually legitimately funny.
Verizon site about a mile away.
Oof.
Can I see? Maybe 3/4 of a mile away. 312 on the down. What is T-Mobile doing here? They got 5G, so they got N71. Let's see what's happening on that side. We'll run a speed test for them. 312 down. Looks like about 40 meg on the up for Verizon. Nice job with the N77. Oh man, here's the N71, 600 megahertz. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah.
No, that's not bad, really. I mean, it's. I get worse in 71. Sub 6 extended range 5G T-Mobile network at 600 megahertz.
I'm sure it works in there, right? T-Mobile more 5G bars. What do you guys think of that N77? Oh, look at that uplink. Very nice. T-Mobile with the uplinks. Very nice.
Yeah, if you can use it. I was trying to upload a video on T-Mobile and it was being very annoying yesterday.
But here's the thing. Here is the thing. Fast.com. And then here's my fast.com.
Oh boy, this is where I have a problem with T-Mobile's core.
We'll get the Verizon Fast.com going, and then we'll get the T-Mobile Fast.com going. Yeah. I'm trolling right now, straight up, guys. I'm trolling.
Samir Salim. I'm keeping my iPhone 11 till 2024 probably. However, I know I'm getting the 2022 iPad Pro this year if it comes out then. If it doesn't, then I'm stuck with my Mini 5 for a little longer.
I'd upgrade to the Mini 6 if you're on a Mini 5, to be honest, because it'll be worth it. Because they upgrade the display pixelization quality.
15:02 DoorDash Dawn. Message deleted by Nikita. 15.
Thank you, Nikita.
DoorDash Dawn. Sneed and feed formerly Chucks. Button. Voiceover off. Voiceover. 15:015. Judas Goats molested children like Merchant Royce. Yeah, that's based. Button. Voiceover off.
But yeah, thank you, Nikita, for taking care of that. Big shout out to Nikita Smith.
380 down. 2 down.
Ouch.
Difference of plans.
Hold on.
2 down.
Let's give me a second.
I'm trolling right now, straight up, guys. I'm trolling. At the T-Mobile store in Medina Township. 380 down. 2 down.
Yikes!
Difference of plans. Or another test. I don't think there's 5G you see on the neighboring site.
Now, I wonder if he ran through a VPN network, what would it do? Could it be throttled because of tower congestion, which T-Mobile's been known to do a lot? Even if you got the highest priority plans, they do that for instead of banking on cellular. But then again, the speed test results would have been slower too. So my argument is invalid.
Good there. We'll do one more test. Should I go in and ask them what
I'll be right back.
Verizon's 5G ultra wideband?
Oh God!
Should I go in there and troll? You guys want me to do a follow-up video? Come back here, give these guys a hard ask them questions about their competitors. That'd be cruel, man. Let's see. Sprint customers, you're in the right place, it says. Oh, okay. They're pushing the iPhone 13. Let's look at the design here of this store. Oh, I got it right next to the Five Guys. I've noticed that all the T-Mobile stores are by Five Guys or what is that other one? Jimmy John's? All right, so what are they saying? Switch to T-Mobile. They'll pay off your phone. Sprint customers, you're welcome. You're in the right place. What do we got here? More 5G bars. Well, 177 flexing a little bit over here.
like always, there's Verizon flexing and trolling. Now you gotta have fun with your challenges over here.
07. Samir Salim. I was thinking of doing that, but I want a bigger screen and I don't want the Air 4. I want to go all out.
True. That's why I still have my
Like,
2018
share,
Pro.
subscribe, comment down below, turn on the bell notifications, all that good stuff. My Patreon link in the description. Support us there. Get early access to content and exclusives not found anywhere else. Discounts on Most Mobile just for supporting us. And got my Twitter handle in there too and my email.
Yeah, go check him out. Go check out Sneed. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. Let me pull up the channel so I can get the link. All right.
Sneed mobile tag. Speaking volume. Speak words. Sneed. Mobile. Sneed. Sneed copy the clip.
Let me make sure I got that correct. All right. Now what I want to do is go over to here. Edit description. Let's see.
Voiceover YouTube. Quotation at. Quotation mark. Period. Symbols. Select pound, euros, pound, yen, bullet, number.
You know what? I'm gonna be really lazy. Sneed. Alright, it did it the way I wanted it to. Sneed's YouTube channel, comma. There we go. Now I want to go to the channel. And of course, it's going to put me into the YouTube Shorts category. No. Let me know if y'all like the iOS 15 YouTube Shorts stuff too. Because I will keep doing the 15 when the betas come out and 16 down the road where I'll do a YouTube Short and then eventually within a few hours I'll actually put out a follow-up. Because I post everywhere on social media, including Twitter. Alright, I left a link to his channel in the description so you can go check out the video, his channel and all the videos and stuff like that. He covers a lot of, if you're in the United States, he covers all the carriers and stuff like that.
Samir Salim. Samsung phones now last quite well as well. I remember before when 2 years old Samsung were slow, whereas no Samsung processors are getting way better. Every ring this S9 is older is pretty slow.
Oh, we don't talk about the S9. I'm annoyed because of the fact that the S9s got screwed over when they started doing 3 years, and now they're doing 4 years.
15, 11, Samir Salim, S10 and above is good, and from all Samsung phones from 2019 and above they have promised 3 years of support.
Well, yeah, apparently I've heard 4 years now. But the S9 could support Android 12 at least. But Samsung's still kind of skimping out over there.
15, 12, Samir Salim, get ready for when success gets iOS 16 and everyone goes mad.
That'd be funny. Well, why would they support the 6S? Well, they can support it, it's whatever. But all the carriers here in the United States are pushing the 6S to the curb. They're carriers here, I've noticed. It's an MVNO of Verizon's network. Straight Talk here in the United States is starting to slow down and restrict people from downloading stuff on the Verizon network that have only the iPhone 6s, 7, and 8. And they're giving high price values to upgrade, force people to upgrade now. So they're starting to shut down the older LTE bands for the older networks and the standard 4G networks. Like they're saying they're shutting down the 3G networks. Like AT&T this last week shut down their 3G network that ran. It was 3G backbone on the 4G on a 4G infrastructure.
15:14.
Like it showed on the phones 4G, but it was 3G truly.
15, 14,
Rest in peace, 3G. I'm gonna miss you.
15, 13. Samir Salim, 4 years is starting from S21 series. 15, 14. Samir Salim, I got anxiety last year for the device support list. I always do cause it's exciting.
Man, me, I'm just like, yeah.
Voiceover off.
I like to see it and get everything ready for a video. But anyways, everyone, I'm gonna end off this live stream here. I gotta go work on some other stuff. And you know, the good stuff of doing fun life work. So I will be doing another live stream sometime down the road. Stay tuned and subscribe to the channel for my follow-up this weekend. I'll be doing a follow-up on YouTube. Hopefully, I have a troll threatening that they're gonna come to my house tomorrow, so we'll see how that folds and stuff like that. So if hey, troll doesn't show up and I'm still alive, I guess we could say, laughing at you right now. There'll be a follow-up this weekend for iOS 15.